Welcome to VauBot. In this video tutorial, we'll show you how to build Facebook and Instagram sequence messaging campaign. The most effective technique to re-engage your users after the current message window closes is sequence messaging. They are mostly sent in series. For instance, we will create a bot and a sequence campaign for a bot. The same sequence campaign can be used in other bot flows too. Sequence campaigns are activated only when user clicks on a particular button or quick reply where we have sequence campaign. Now we will create bot flow and sequence for Facebook, but the same goes when you are creating for Instagram DM. Let's start by clicking on Bot Manager button from the navigation menu on the left side. Here, we will leave on Facebook pages. Then, choose a Facebook page for which you want to create a bot flow as well as messenger sequence. Next, while you are on Bot Flow Builder, click on Create New Flow button, and you will be redirected on a drag and drop visual flow builder. Now, to name a bot, double-click on the Start Bot Flow component. Next, we will drag and drop Trigger keyword component and connect it with the Start Bot Flow component. Double-click on Trigger and add keywords separating them with comma. This bot flow will be triggered with these keywords. Now, we will start this bot with the text reply. You can either drag and drop the text component, right-click on the component, and you can either delete or clone. Or you can drag a connector and leave the cursor to see all the components that are compatible with the previous reply. Double-click and type your text reply. Now, let's add some buttons on this text reply. To add one, just drag a connector from a button socket and leave the cursor to get the button. Let's configure these buttons now. Add a button text. And as a button type, choose New Postback from a drop-down list. Also, give name for postbacks. Make sure to add memorable name for all postbacks. You may use them in some other bot flows as well. Now, let's add replies to this postbacks. I'm adding image reply. Of course, next step, upload images of product you want to show your users. Next, let's add quick replies on these images. Select the type of quick reply, we will go with the new postback. Also, add a quick reply text that will be displayed under the image. Again, add memorable names for these two postbacks. Next, for all the quick replies we will add an e-commerce reply. Just choose an e-commerce store, and then below add products from a drop-down list. Also, you must type button text. Also, at any time if the bot flow gets messy, you can click Rearrange button. This bot flow have several postbacks, and we can create messenger sequence campaign in any of these postbacks. Just drag a connector from a sequence socket and leave the cursor to get a sequence. Now let's configure the sequence. Give a name for this messenger sequence. Also select the starting and closing time, as well as time zone. Now, if we want to send a sequence message after the 24-hour window, we must select a message tag. For the sake of this tutorial, we won't select a message tag. By default, there is 3 sequence message. You can add more, or delete some. To add more, just drag a connector from a sequence socket and leave the cursor. To delete, right-click on it and click Delete. For the sake of this tutorial, we will leave only 2 sequence messages. Next, let's configure the first sequence item. You have 2 types of sequence messages: promotional, which is inside of 24-hour window, or non-promotional, which is daily. As we said earlier, if you want to send message sequence outside of 24-hour window, which is non-promotional or daily, you must select message tag, otherwise you can only select promotional, which is inside of 24-hour window. Next, give names for postbacks. After that, we need to add actual replies for each postback. We will go with the text reply. Now, on this text reply we will add a button, so when the user clicks, it will be redirected on our e-commerce store. That way we will re-engage users and show them the rest of our products. Add a button text, and as a button type we will go with the web URL. Web URL is configured for desktop and phone view. Also, if you go with web view full, it is configured only for phone view. We will do the same with the other postback. Once all done, we have to save this bot flow. One thing to note, we can use any previously created sequence on any other bot flow. Like we will be able to use this sequence next time when creating a bot flow. Just double-click on postback and select the sequence you want to use from a drop-down list. Also, in the same way we can create Messenger sequence campaign for Instagram DM. Now, let's see how it actually works on Facebook Messenger. Here is the first text reply, and the button on top is the postback where we have created sequence campaign. So if we click this button, we will trigger that sequence. Also, as we said earlier, if you want to send a sequence outside of 24-hour window, you can use, for example, post-purchase message tag. That way, when someone purchases that particular product where you have created sequence, you will be able to re-engage them daily for the next 30 days. In this case we have used only promotional type of sequence or inside of 24-hour window, so now we should get the message after 1 minute and after 5 minutes as we set up the sequence campaign. Yes, both of the sequence messages are right here, so everything works as expected. And if we click on the button, we will be redirected to health category of our e-commerce store. This is how you can use sequence message campaign to re-engage your users. That's it for this tutorial, make sure to check the next one.